We've gone to great lengths to design our Tri-5 chassis to be as easy an installation as possible. This is the only chassis on the market that there are absolutely no modifications to your body required whatsoever. We utilize all your stock bumper mounts, your core support mounts, the body mounts, designed everything to fit underneath the stock floor. So it's a matter of unbolting your original frame, sliding the new frame under, dropping it down, and bolting it back up. Big blocks, small blocks, LS motors all fit comfortably in the engine bay without any modification needed. Our adjustable trans mount is designed to accommodate all GM automatic or manual transmissions. The biggest difference between our Tri-5 chassis and anyone else in the industry is the actual frame rail itself. We're the only company doing a true 4x4 frame rail, one piece design from front to rear. There's a lot of differences in how we build a frame compared to what others in the industry are using. Where others are using bent square tube or miter cut and welded square tube. All of our frame rails are hand built in-house, start with a inside, outside, a top and a bottom pattern. Those are fixtured in a jig, welded together. This allows us the ability to have a formed flowing frame rail that shapes around the car, has visually appealing lines and curves and bends to it. Something that looks custom that belongs underneath a custom car. We TIG weld every component on the chassis. TIG welding takes longer, it's harder to do, but at the same time it's a better weld, it's got deeper penetration, it's visually more appealing, and when it comes time to do the paint body work side of the frame, it's a lot easier to work with. This frame works under a convertible, hardtop, wagon, pretty much anything. Looking at this compared to a stock frame, the original frames for hardtops and sedans weren't strong enough for convertibles. The convertibles had to have a special frame from the factory. A lot of our competitors will tell you that if you're going to do a convertible, you need to have a special frame built for it because their standard frame isn't strong enough to handle the weight of a convertible body. So that kind of speaks volumes for what you're buying. If the new frame isn't strong enough to handle a convertible body, it's probably not that much stronger than an original frame was. The strength from our chassis comes from the 4x4 main frame rails, but a lot is added to it with torsional rigidity through our dual level tubular center cross member. Just like anything else we do, it has to look cool. So we added some unique features in there to, again, give it some detail when you're looking at the car from the underside and make it fit a custom car. We offer two different versions of the Tri-5 chassis. The first version is our standard hot rod cruiser style chassis, designed for the guy who just wants to go out and cruise the car and enjoy it. You get a lot more strength in the frame, you get a lower ride height to really give you a car that's gonna ride, handle, and go down the road great. What I'm standing with here is our Fast Track chassis, which is a performance-based suspension for the front and rear. That gives you a sports car suspension package underneath a American Icon classic Chevy. Now, a lot of guys look at this and say they don't necessarily need a pro touring suspension for their 55 Chevy because they're never going to take it to an autocross, they're never going to run on a road course. When we're talking about performance, we're really trying to incorporate every aspect of performance, from the actual way the car drives on a daily basis, how it performs just going down the road when you're cruising, the ride quality. All these things have been greatly improved over what a stock car would have ever been. Our Fast Track front suspension is based around a C6 Corvette spindle and utilizes all our own geometry. There's roughly 100 to 125 components specifically machined or made just for this front suspension. Instead of using stock Corvette control arms, we were able to make significant geometry gains by designing our own control arms. We were able to move the coilover shock location to get the optimal spring rate and motion ratio, which allows for a lighter coilover, thus giving you a better ride quality just cruising down the road. We were also able to sweep back the rear of the lower control arm, which gives you the ability to run a wider front tire without having any interference. You can run up to a 9-inch wide wheel and still have a pretty nice lip on the outside to keep that classic look. The rear suspension is a triangulated 4-link. We use a large diameter 4-bar, fabricated in-house with a high-density polyurethane bushing. We've designed the rear sway bar as a spline bar running through the frame for a real clean installation. It doesn't interfere at all with any exhaust routing. The rear axle housing is a Ford 9-inch. You can comfortably fit a 9 or 10-inch wide wheel in the back with the stock wheelhouses. Or if you want to mini tub the car, you can easily run up to a 12-inch wide wheel with a 335 tire. When it comes to 55 to 57 Chevys, stance is everything. And our customers have a pretty varying view on what they call the perfect stance. We've engineered that into the chassis and offer multiple stance options so each customer can get exactly what they're looking for. Since we've built so many Tri-5s here at the Roadster shop, we can really help you along the way with the build process. Each chassis is built to order for your specific car, so you're getting exactly what you want in a package that's built just for you. Items like gas tanks, body mount kits, exhaust kits, steering linkage packages. We've got everything really down to a science for these cars. We can really help you out with your build from the chassis moving on through the rest of the process.